Hey, scrappy people, Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with my first layout using the Cocoa Daisy Sundrenched collection. I am, of course, scrapping our vacation, what else? And this is my sister and my nephew and my great niece. My brother and my nephew are having babies at the same time. So we have many generations in this photo, but I just love them so much. These are from my nephew's wedding reception, my other nephew's wedding reception, and our happy place is the babies. Give us the babies. So that is going to be the theme of this page and the title of this page. I'm going to create a fun square-ish composition with this page, and I'm going to use this is our go-to place, as I trimmed it down and it's going to be a square and sort of a like a anchor for this cluster. So I'm gonna mat these photos. I decided to mat the main photo in that plaid and then these two smaller photos in the blue, and then I'm going to use the scraps that I have left over and I'm going to mat this card as well, and then I'm going to create some banner pieces for the page. So I do hem and haw and struggle just a little bit with how I want this composition to go, and I seriously spent like 20 minutes moving these photos around after I create these banners, so I spared you the drama of what I went through trying to figure out where these photos are going to go, and we'll skip forward to where they end up. But like, the main problem that I was having was I should not have made these banners before I decided on a composition. But if you know me, you know I always do things out of order. I just go with the flow and how things feel, and sometimes that's not always the best way. You should plan a little bit probably, or I should plan a little bit probably, but I don't. So that's that. I'm gonna make this banner a little bit more sharp. And then I'm going to repeat the process up here. I'm going to layer these two photos together. They're going to be a little bit wonky. And the banner for this one, I'm going to cut that whole wide paper into a banner as the mat for both of these photos. Dun, da, da, da. And then because I chose to do one facing down and one facing like sideways, that was kind of where I started struggling. So I am going to end up taking the blue mat off of the main photo and rearranging things a little bit. I do want this, our go-to place, to be in the center. So I've cut out all the drama. Now this is where the composition starts to come together. Da 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 da. And then we still need to fix the blue banner and figure out where that's gonna go. I can't believe I struggled so hard with this. I think part of the problem was that I wanted to make sure that I didn't cover up any of the florals on the outside edges, so everything had to stay real central, and so I just was having a hard time making sure everything fit together right. But we end up just rotating the banner to the opposite direction, and voila, that looks a lot better. Just move everything around a little bit, make sure we're happy, and now we can start embellishing and making things very, very pretty. This was the first layout, of course, that I did with this collection, so I have everything to choose from. There are a ton of flowers in this collection, just like everything is flowers, and including the papers. So I actually had a hard time a little bit deciding what to add to this page that wasn't flowers, but we get there in the end, no problem. I'm gonna add a large title with that yellow alphabet, and I thought about adding that ampersand, but I don't add it to this page. It's a little bit too big for this composition, and I just couldn't find anywhere to put it. But I do love that enjoy every moment, and more of this. My nephew and my brother both live in California, and so I never get to see these babies, so I made the most of it. Held all the babies all the time, or at least as much as I could. I'm gonna move these letters up a little bit so that they sit right underneath the black letters. I really like the combination of these yellow puffy letters with that nice black bold alphabet. I think that it makes the titles look really good. So I do that again with another page. And I'm going to move the photo up so everything's nice and tight. I'm actually going to trim this and cut it into a banner as well so that it matches the banner papers. I like the Hello Sunshine. That is my other niece over there, the toddler. She is adorable. Last time I saw her, she was the size of the youngest baby. That's her brother too that I'm holding in the other photo. Everybody's having babies and I have adults. It's very strange. Well, my sister has adults too. Her babies are having babies and we're not quite there yet, so thankfully. Okay, so I did struggle a little bit, or I had a little bit of a problem with the gap between this tag and the banner. So there's like this some trapped white space here that I'm trying to cover up. I don't want to cover up too much of the tag. Like I could have moved the tag just right a little bit, but I didn't want to cover up too much of the tag because I wanted there to be enough room for me to journal on there. So instead I decided to cover up the trapped white space, added in some flower die cuts here. Then I also have these glittery flower stickers, which they are just a little bit brighter than the collection as a whole, probably because they were printed on a different, like paper. So I decided to use the black ones to bring in a little bit more black to this page to tie in that more of this and the title itself. And then I'm going to do that again with some of the clear stickers from the memory keeping sticker kit. So just going through, looking at everything. You can see all those black little flowers all over this sticker sheet. So I'm going to actually add them into the composition of the flowers around the outside edges. Again, to just bring in a little bit more black, make that title not contrast so much because there's now black in the rest of the page. I mean, obviously some of the flowers have some black centers, so it's not too far out of the bounds, but it's just in bringing a little bit more in. Beautiful. All right, so now's the time when I start going through things and putting things away and sort of finalizing what I want to add here. So I went into my stash and I pulled in like the stamps to see if there were any stamps that would work. And I found these buttons. I love these buttons. They're so cute. I use them on a couple pages. And I'm actually going to sew them down with black thread as well. So I'm going to create a few clusters here and then just go ahead and off camera I will sew them down. And I decided I'm going to create some clusters around these black flowers that I added. And I think because normally I add, when I'm adding these like circular bits like buttons or enamel dots, I normally add groups of 3, but I decided to do 2 and one of those black flowers as my clusters instead. So I'm going to rearrange those flowers a little bit as well. And then I'm getting some black thread and I'm just going to sew down all of those buttons with black thread. There we go. So they're all down now and I am almost done with this page, but I am sort of feeling like, I don't know, like there needs to be more. There's something not quite there yet. I'm playing with these hummingbirds that are in the die cuts, but none of them are really giving off the vibe that I want them to give. Although I do want to add a hummingbird, I just don't feel like those ones are standing out very much. Adding in a few more flowers around the composition, maybe, at least trying them out. Again, I'm just sort of going through and figuring things out as I go along. I like playing with my product and just adding or trying to add things here and there and deciding whether or not they actually look right. So I decided to pull this sticker off because it just didn't make as much of an impact as I would like and put this larger floral cluster there instead. Much better. And I want to put something up here as well. Can't decide which cluster I want to use. A lot of the die cuts, or I would say almost all of the die cuts in this collection are flowers, but the flowers that I have are actually from the creative collection. The die cuts that are in the scrapbook collection are the ones that you see down there, and they're actually like tabs and a few word bits. So all of these florals are coming, all the die cuts are coming from the creative kit or the sticker sheets. Lots and lots of florals. You just see me fighting with these flowers. I cannot decide what I want. But I'm going to fight with the flowers a little bit more, and then I'm going to call it good. I love this page. I love these photos, so this makes me really happy. I love the bright colors. If you love it too, you can find a link to an affiliate link to Cocoa Daisy in the description box below and pick up your own copy of Sundrenched. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. And I will see you next time. Thank you.